Hey everybody, welcome aboard the Crazy Train. This is the Grand Solar Minimum's Crazy Canuck coming at you again from Saskatchewan, Canada. Just giving you a little shot of my bees. I'd like to start this video with some controversy. There are statements that I am about to make that go against everything that modern agriculture has been teaching since probably the 50s or 40s. Number one, 95% roughly of a plant and what makes up a plant in a healthy system comes from the air. The majority of a plant is carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and a little bit of nitrogen. The rest the remainder are your micronutrients that come from the soil, and your biology in the soil is also what makes these available to the plant, and also when the bacteria dies it becomes nutrients themselves. Number two, insects only attack unhealthy plants. This has been addressed on my couple videos ago with science to back it up from a actual PhD entomologist. And of course when you start to look at testing plants, you will see this yourself. Number three, weeds do not grow healthy in healthy soil. You will not hear this from any agronomist. You ask anybody in a modern ag system and they will say weeds and crops are the same, and healthy soil is why the weeds grow so well. This is also definitely provable by watching how well plants photosynthesize, and you can watch your crop go up and your weeds go down, or vice versa. And this is also verifiable through science. And of course the last one is disease. Disease will not affect a healthy plant. It will not affect a healthy person or animal. And this is also something that is being misinformed out in the general public, where the modern ag is taught that weeds, disease, and insects are just a part of growing a healthy crop, and you need all these inputs and pesticides in order to grow a good crop. So just figured I'd start off with the big controversy, something I get attacked on quite vigorously on a regular basis. And now we'll get on with the rest of the video. Well, since I finally got my family heirloom garden tiller that was bought back in the 70s, finally got it fixed. The engine had gone, so I got an engine from Princess Auto, put it on here. I have started to do an active composting area in the garden. Now everybody's familiar with the standard compost pile that you have to turn. I've done this since probably the mid-90s. I take all the scraps and all the screenings and manures and anything organic, I put it into one spot and give it a chance. Like you see here, some grain has started growing, and then I work it in. So over time you can put away a lot of organic matter in a short amount of time and create some superior soil. This differs a lot from just letting the vegetation itself compost and then using that as a soil amendment. This works really well. I can put away a lot of material in a short period of time. So I'll cover this area, and if I have a lot of material, I'll start another patch and then rotate back and forth as I work one in, wait for the other one to produce some growth before I work that in. So that's the active composting system that I use. And we're going to go on and do a little update on the garden. Well, if everybody remembered the greenhouse update and saw how large the cucumbers are in there, this is planted on the same day, and this is how big they are in the garden. If you want production, they need to be under cover. Like, even if you put a cover over top of them in the garden, would make a huge difference, and not having to build a large greenhouse. And as we move down, there's camelina. This is camelina. It's also called false flax, and it grows very quick. It's a short season crop, and it would be a great substitute for the long season oilseed crops like flax or sunflowers or what have you. You can plant this well into June and harvest it before the frost that we're probably going to see more of in August. Great alternative to go to for oil. And now next, we're going to look at some of the grains. Most of them are starting to head out, such as these. Now these are all the wheats and barleys. Grow as many, I grow as many as I can to see what's going to do well, what isn't going to do well. If it doesn't do well, I find out why. And one of my favorites is Faust. This is Faust barley. Very unique heads, and considering it was planted at the same time as everything else, I'll show you one of the larger plots of it. So this is a larger plot of Faust. This went from seeding to starting to head out in 30 days. Now mind you, I did germinate them in ideal conditions, so that would definitely have a bearing on it. Hopefully we don't get hailed out, and there should be enough seed that I can actually do a seeded plot to put it in real world conditions next year. So the beans are doing really well. I got 3 rows of beans here. They're starting to bloom, so hopefully they do really well. And we'll move on to the next. And here's the potatoes. And as they bud and start blooming, I'm mulching them with straw. That avoids all the hilling and all the back-breaking work, and then all the digging in the fall. So you can see some are strawed up and some aren't. But I'm not sure if that's the variety or soil conditions, but they are blooming like, I've never seen a potato bloom like this. This is crazy. I'm guessing it's the variety, but we will see. Now we're over in some of my favorite stuff. There's the gopal barley that's heading out really nice. This was actually, before it started heading out, it had kind of lodged. It was kind of blown over, but as soon as it started heading out, it stood straight up. The two or three sisters, the corn and the beans, it's coming along late, but a small little patch like this, if we get into a frost situation, I can put up some rebar, throw a quilt over them to protect them. Usually around here you get 1 or 2 nights of frost, and then it usually smartens up for a while, so you just have to get past that. And one of my favorite grains is right there. Last year this grew 6 feet high. Right now it's pretty close to 5 feet, but just absolutely beautiful heads on it. Nice and feathery. So that's a quick garden update. Hope you're all getting some good information out of these videos, and if there's any more information that you would like to know, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. But until the next one, like if you like, subscribe if you haven't, spread the word, let's grow some food.